Hello, welcome to the e-VRC, and behind me we have the Engwe C20 Pro e-bike. Let's take a close-up look at the bike. We got spoked 20-inch wheels with 3-inch wide tyres made by Chaoyang. They have the Shimano, I really can't see it all, Tawny gear set, which is their cheapest one. You can see on the motor 250 watts. It's got these plastic mudguards, which I quite like, to be honest, because they're just, I mean, I wouldn't call them flimsy. They're kind of flimsy, but they're in a good way. They're just there. They'll stop the mud getting on you, and they don't rattle like metal ones do. We've got a light, which I've just realised has fallen forward for some reason. Turn the light on with this button. There we go. That button there. It's got these foldable pedals, so you can just push that in, put them down to keep them out of the way. It's got this saddle, which is used on most Engwes these days, which is funny actually, because I was just saying how it was a bit uncomfortable after about 10 miles. Yeah, I've done more than that on other e-bikes with the same saddle and it wasn't uncomfortable, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Let's just see how far that goes up. There's the safety thing. So around there, it's too rich for my blood. Let's put that back down. Suspension, it works, but it's not adjustable, and it is very, very clangy. Well, I wouldn't say clangy in this case. It's more like it goes duck, duck, duck. There's the new redesigned badge of all Engwe bikes. Key goes in the bottom, and that can basically turns off the battery, so you can't get any power. You need to remove the key in order to remove the battery. Twist throttle, which I will not do. Yeah, power level 0, there we go. The SIS levers, bell, which is a bit pitiful to be honest. Mechanical disc brakes, front and rear. Quick release front wheel, so you can take the front wheel off really quickly. Some people like to take the wheel off and chain it up with the bike when they lock it up. There's the bit where there should be a little cap to cover up the battery terminal. You can see there's a hole, so there's meant to be one. I think they just forgot to send me one, so hopefully they won't forget to send you one. Here's some welds, which I have no idea about. I'm not a welding expert, but a lot of people like to say, yeah, good welds. But yeah, no idea about the welds, sorry. But I haven't fallen off yet and it hasn't broken. One thing from here that I do not like about this bike is that stand is rubbish. It really is not the best. We've got a slight slope here, and all it takes is a little nudge and this bike's falling over. If you do want to see a range test of the C20 Pro, do check out my YouTube channel. C20 Pro is a nice bike. We've got a full review coming soon. We've already got a first impressions. How far can it go? This bike is meant to be able to go 150 kilometers. It fell over. When did it fall over? Bugger. Not only has my bike just fallen over, but the camera has somehow managed to find its way down a rabbit hole. Ugh. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh my god, it's wearing a hat. I would have liked a sturdier stand. The one that's on the Engine Pro and the newly released P26 is much better than the one on this. Here's the screen, up to go up a power level, down to go down a power level. Your standard functions are light down here. Here we've got you can change for the max speed. Apparently I've done 30 miles an hour. I think that'll be going when I go down the hill, which you'll see shortly. Average speed, 13.8 miles per hour. My trip currently is 10.1 miles. All in all, it's a good looking bike.
So it's a 250 watt legal-ish bike that looks great but has a dodgy stand that isn't really a deal breaker. If you can read fast, you'll see that eventually I did just bend it away from the bike and now it doesn't fall over as much. It's foldable too, in the same way as loads of other folding e-bikes. Being 24 kilograms, it's much more manageable in its folded state, but I still wouldn't want to take it on public transport. The folding is just to help store it, for example, in a flat, or if you need to get it into a car. Oh, I did say legal-ish, didn't I? Well,
this is doing alright. This is oddly doing alright. Now, this is a 250 watt bike, and this is like power. Hang on, what? I'm going 16. What's going on? I thought it was limited. Okay, right. This feels really fast for a 250 watt bike. This feels really nice. So I'm going 20 miles an hour now. I did not expect this. 20 miles an hour without any help, but this is going at a decent pace.
So yes, it has a throttle which you could disable if you wanted to, and yeah, it can go faster than 15.5 miles per hour, and again, if you want, you can limit that in the computer very easily. Do that and your bike is totally UK or EU legal. However, a few miles per hour over 15.5 and a throttle isn't about to get you thrown into the slammer, and it's going to take the arsiest of PC plods having the day from hell for you to get into trouble for it, especially when you consider that riders on racing bikes go way faster than 19 to 20 miles per hour, and having a throttle gives you a lot more fine control than pedal assist alone, so you're actually less likely to run someone over if you have one. So did I mention that this bike has a 19.2 amp hour battery? Well, multiply that by 36 volts and that's about 690 watt hours. That's a big battery, and apparently it's good for 150 kilometers. Is it though? Is it?
It's now flashing, the screen is flashing. We're down to no bars. I've done 28.5 miles an hour. Currently on cruise control, 5th gear, doing 17 and 16.8 miles an hour. Oh, there we go. The screen's gone. On about 33 miles. And now it just looks silly, because I'm going really slow. The Engwe C20 Pro will do about 33 miles using a lot of throttle, power level 5, going up hills. 33 miles, 10 miles more than the Engine Pro did on full throttle. I'm impressed.
So as expected, it is a bit of a stretch for the bike to live up to the manufacturer's stated range, but it will take you a very good distance at full speed. I'm sure you could get 150 kilometers if you're on power level 1, but then you might as well just go on power level 0 or just walk. That way, when you've done the 150 kilometers, you might be light enough to do it on power level 2. But overall, I was quite impressed with the range given my 100 kilogram frame. But how about if we had to go up a hill?
But I'm on my way to the hill testing place that we always use, Sandy Lane. 3, 2, 1, go! I'm in pedal 5, throttle only. Of all my e-bikes, only one e-bike has managed to get all the way up the hill throttle only. That is the Engwe Engine Pro. The rest have all failed around this tree. Same with the e-scooters. We've got videos on that if you want to check that out. Going very slow. I'm not pedaling, of course. 9 miles an hour now, 8 miles an hour. It's slowing down. Someone's just gone past on like a Ciron or something like that. Easily. Oh, and it's gonna fail in a second. 4. We're going to stop. 3.8. Got past the tree though. And 3 miles an hour. 2 miles an hour. 2.5. Okay, right, got the 2 over there. What I'm going to do now though, I'll go back to the start and I'll ride up as if it was just normal, and you know, I want to get to work or something like that, and see how it does then. I'm not going to put too much effort in, hopefully. I've got to say, that was pretty embarrassing going up there when the other electric bike went past. So I'm on speed level 5, 6th gear, pedaling this time. Obviously a bit faster now, so that's nice. 15 miles an hour. Let's see if it starts struggling. Obviously it's got pedal assist as well, so I don't need to use the throttle. Now I can feel myself kind of having to try a bit more, but the point is I'm not trying to get as fast as I can. I'm trying to get it without having to try. So 10 miles an hour. I mean, I'm doing it. I can feel I'm trying. I suppose I could go up a lower gear. Not a higher gear on the... Keep it on the high power, but lower gear on the gears, yeah? That's pretty alright. That's alright.
So the bike is fast for a 250 watt e-bike, the range is good when pedaling, it will easily get you up a hill, and it looks great. What's not to like? Well, I already mentioned the stand, but that's an easy fix. I'm not too impressed with the pedals either.
When my bum was hurting earlier, I had to stand up on them. I don't feel the most sturdy. I mean, I know you're not meant to stand up on them, but you should be able to stand up on them. And those metal well-go pedals that they use on other bikes, they seem a lot better than these. Granted, it is a folding e-bike, so they want to use folding pedals, but the Engine Pro does have some higher quality folding pedals that are all metal and no plastic. So I'd like to see that.
And there's no rear lights or brake lights, but all of these things are things that can easily be fixed and wouldn't stop me buying the bike. My main issue with this bike, and one that could be a deal breaker, is that clunky suspension. It's as if Derek down the pub's on the saddle behind me and he glugs a pint of Strongbow every time I go over a bump. I've watched a lot of other videos about the C20 Pro just so I could see if I could hear that noise, and I couldn't, so I'm wondering if it's just mine. I get that the bike is quite cheap for an e-bike at €899, but I wish the suspension was lockable. It's not the best suspension anyway, and although you could do light off-roading on the bike, it's not really meant for that. Most of the time, I'd choose to lock it out if I could. Apart from those issues though, I really do like this bike. Hydraulic brakes would be nice, but they would make it more expensive. And although the bike uses Shimano's cheapest gear set, the Tourney, they're solid, and if adjusted properly as mine were, then they're absolutely fine. So the question is, should you get this e-bike, and where does it fit into the range compared to the other bikes from Engwe?
This, the C20 Pro, is £899, and the EP2 Pro, the fat tyre folding e-bike, 750 watts, is about £50 more, I believe, 950. Now, that one is faster, but it doesn't go as far. So if you want more range and something a bit smaller with smaller tyres, you definitely want to go for this one. But if you want it to go faster, then you want to go for the EP2 Pro. And then, to throw another spanner in the works, you've got the P26, which I've just done the first impressions of. And that's got really good range, but it's not foldable. And it's got 26-inch wheels, so it's got bigger wheels. So if you want that, then obviously, well, that costs about 1,100. Now remember, these prices, usually you can get some sort of discount code on the site for about £50 or £100 off. And they give you a discount if you buy two, but who does that? So yeah, it's interesting. For $899, this is amazing value. Just make sure you get a cap for your battery. The range is fantastic. If you're watching this and you're in America, they have a 500 watt version of this. In fact, the version that is sold in America is 500 watts. It's more powerful, but it's only got a smaller battery. I believe it's like 13.2 or something.
So what Engwe have done here is made a fine looking futuristic BMX folding e-bike that isn't about to get you into any trouble. A bike that will take you a long way at a decent speed and fairly comfortably, and they've done it at a fantastic price. You are going to struggle to find a bike as good as this for that price. For me, the only really big issue is their suspension noise when going over bumps. I'm pretty sure it wasn't the battery, as it seemed to be very snug. Maybe Engwe could leave a comment to reassure us that it was just my bike that makes that noise, because obviously most buyers won't be able to try one out themselves before they buy it. They'll just have to have it shipped, and once that happens, it's very hard for them to return. So Engwe, please let us know if the others don't have this problem, because apart from that, the bike is awesome. If you found this review useful, please do hit that like button and subscribe if you want to get more fun e-bike content, as well as e-scooters and electric skateboards. If you feel like purchasing this bike, then there's a link below in the description. It just lets Engwe know that you got one because of watching my video, and it helps out the channel at no extra cost to you. I've been very impressed with Engwe's bikes, and also the fact that they've never asked me to shy away from mentioning any issues with their bikes. Despite me being totally honest, they're still willing to send me bikes to test, and for that I thank them. They've got other brilliant bikes which I have reviewed already, so check out the channel for those because they are seriously impressive. And of course, thank you so much for watching and sticking with my rambling. As always, ride safe and see you next time.